question C. So we just pick up a few questions that we have go through the topic. Okay, you have your kids, right? Okay. Okay, do you see the question? Class? See the question on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So now, could you please answer for number, number 1. Okay, you want to answer to do together, or you answer alone first and then we discuss? Do together or what? Okay, let's do first. You do first. Number 1, number 2. I pick the question, Number 1. Okay, number 2. Number 3. Number 4. 5, we left it first. 6. Skip. Okay, number 7. Number 8. Number 9. 10, not yet. 11, no. 12, no. 13, no. 16, not yet. 17, not yet. 20, not yet.
It's because we can use more different languages.
Okay, that one. Only that question that I take just now. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Do it now. Okay, how many questions? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions. Okay, 7 questions, 10 minutes. Don't look at to the answer, please. Okay, done class? Done? Kita, finish?
One more question, madam.
Okay. So, another 2 minutes. Okay, done, eh? Done, Afika? Then the rest?
Done.
Done, okay.
Done, madam.
Okay, good. So now we discuss the question. So I call the name and answer. Start with Amelia. Number 1, Amelia. And explain why you choose the answer. Okay. So, Pastor Amelia. Number 1.
I answer the book of
Read the question and give the answer.
Okay. Which of the following groups has responsibility for a system of internal control within the company? I answer the board of directors.
Okay, why?
Because because I read the book and it says the board of directors is responsible for maintaining a system of internal control.
Okay. Because the board of directors is responsible for the to set up the internal control system of the company. Okay. Any question, class? Who answer different from board of directors? I hope no. Okay. Possible. Okay. Number 2. Ani Adriana. Ani, read the question and give the answer.
Which of the following is an element of a system of internal control? And my answer is the information system and communication.
The information system and the communication. Which of the following is an element of the system internal control? Okay, information. The rest is not the answer. Why? Why, Anik?
Sebab yang kita belajar tu ada 5 elemen je. Dan yang saya pilih ni salah satu elemen, yang lain tu bukan.
Oh, okay. So we have 5 elements. So one of the elements as stated in the answer is information system and communication. Okay, good. Number 3. Number 3. Mimi Barana. Mimi, great question and your answer.
Yes, madam. Which of the following are management controls? First, the separation of authorization, execution, custody, and recording function. Second, monthly reporting to the directors of inventory levels. Third, review of management accounts and comparison to budgets. Fourth, the internal audit function. My answer is C.
C. Okay, 1, 2, 4.
I don't know.
Okay, 1, 2, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 4. Okay, Mimi answer is 1, 2, 4. Check what you have for 1. Separation of authorization, execution, custody and recording function. Okay, monthly reporting. 1, 2, 4. Review of management account and comparison to budget. Okay, the internal audit function. Okay, management control. Okay, management control. Okay, we have three party involved in set up the internal control system of the company. Okay, first is board of directors, second those charged with the governance, and the third is management. Okay, management ni is the person who involved directly in the management process. So kalau kita tengok, so which one is involved directly in the information processing? Who set up the line of authority, okay, in the company? Who set up the line of authority in terms of authorization, execution, custody, recording function? Who set up the line of authority, the organizational status of the company? Organization board of directors. So, okay, number 1 is board of directors. Okay, number 2, monthly reporting to directors of inventory level. Is it management control? Yes. Okay, number 2, yes. Number 3, review of management account and comparison to budget. Okay, management account. Okay, management account and management account is management account, the financial accounting, okay, and compare to the budget. Budget ni dia ada FA juga, financial accounting pun ada budget, management accounting pun ada budget. So who will prepare that one? Who is responsibility? Is it board of directors or the management?
Management.
Management, okay. 2, 3 management, okay. 2, 3 management. So 1 tadi board of directors. So Mimi number 1, 2, 1, C considered wrong already. Okay, number 4. The internal audit function. Okay, the internal audit function, is it goes to the board of directors? Function dia. Siapa function tu? Dia is the person who implement the information system, the control of the information system. Control of the management system. Okay, internal audit function. Who control? The internal audit department, right? Internal audit department is the management, one of the subset of the management. So, yang mana management? Yang mana management tadi? So, what is the answer?
B.
Now, Mimi, what is the answer now, Mimi?
B.
Okay.
2,
B.
3, and 4.
Okay, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So 2, 3, 4. So understand the management function. First, you have to know who is management. Okay. Second, you have to differentiate the responsibility of management in the operation of the business. Okay, in the operation of the business. Okay. Shall we proceed to number 4? Boleh?
Yes.
Okay. So number 4 now is Fatin Sharina. Read the question, Fatin, and answer.
Yes, madam.
Uh-uh. Okay, Sharina, read the question.
Which of the following is not an example of a control activity?
Ah.
D. There is an IT policy in handbook in place.
Okay, IT policy, handbook, please, handbook. Okay, handbook. Why is not the control activity?
Because it's the example of control environment, not control activity.
Yes, good. Control environment, not control activity. Okay, good. So now we proceed to number 7. Number 7. Correct definition of general IT control. Okay, I think Amni Nabila. Amni.
Yes,
Amni.
Which of the following is the correct definition of general IT controls? The answer is B. Policies and procedures that relate to many applications and support the effective functioning of information processing control.
Okay. So, why you choose the that B, bullet 2 is your answer, Amni?
For my understanding during the morning class, the general IT control support information processing control.
Yes. Okay. So you have the keyword of the IT control must support the effectiveness of the functioning of information processing control. Okay. Good. Any question, class? Others? Okay. Others okay? Okay, Naim. Naim, number 8. Number 8, Naim. Naim, faster, Naim. Number 8. Naim, are you in class?
Tadi dia mesej kat saya, dia kata dia tandas.
Oh. Okay, Naim tu tandas. Okay, Afika. Afika. Number 8, Afika.
Which of the following is not an example of a general IT control? My answer is the accounting system has a program installed which produces hash totals.
That one is what? Okay, why you choose bullet number 3, Afika? Afika, why you choose bullet number 3? Why you choose the answer?
Because I think that one is for information processing controls.
Yes, because hash total kan yang field tu. Okay, good. Hash total. Information processing control for bullet number 3. The rest is IT control, general IT control. Okay, last question. Nurin Syed.
Which of the following statement is not a valid reason to explain the inherent limitation of a system of internal control? My answer is the auditor cannot test every transaction and balance.
Okay, inherent limitation. Okay, so your answer is bullet number 2. Okay, actually, what is the that sentence is refer to what kind of terms? The auditors cannot test every transaction and balance. That one refer to which term? Tadi Nurin Syah kan? Okay, that one is refer to which term, Nurin Syah?
2 is inherent limitation of external audit.
The auditor cannot test every transaction, this one. Okay, we normally refer to this sentence when you answer one term. What is the code? What is the term called? Siapa ingat kelas? What is the term called? If you have to explain that term, you have to put this sentence.
Reasonable
Reasonable
assurance.
Yes, good. Okay, reasonable assurance. Okay. Macam sekolah Aina. Okay. So, dan any question on the apa tadi kita belajar on the information system processing control and general IT control. Okay, so that is the kind of question will be tested in the MCQ. Okay. So since we have not enough time, so we have to proceed to the next one on the assessment of information system and internal control. So I think you have familiar with the test of control already. Okay, may I know why you perform the test of control? Anyone? So tadi I stop at Nurin Shah kan? So now Amin Syaira, what is actually the purpose you perform the test of control? Amin Syaira? Okay, we have learned, I think we have go through the term test of control quite sometimes, okay, in the previous lesson. So what do you understand on the terms test of control? Yes, test of control. What do you understand on that term?
Madam, I think Amy lost her connection.
Oh, lost the connection. Okay. Anyone can share to class? Do you understand on the term test of control? What is actually the test of control? Anyone?
To check the effectiveness of internal control system.
Okay, to check the effectiveness of the internal control system, and that internal control system able to detect, prevent and correct the misstatement. Okay, so if it is not able to detect, so it will increase the what kind of risk? What kind of risk, class? If the internal control system is not effective, yes, Fitri?
Inherent risk. Betul?
Inherent risk ke?
Detection risk.
No.
Control risk.
Yes, control risk. Okay, so if the internal control system is not effective, so it will increase the control risk of the company. So now we are going to assess the information system and internal control, okay, by performing the test of control to see whether the internal control system is effective or not. So if not, the control risk will be high. So you have this one. Okay, I think it is the same in your textbook for the assessment of information system and internal control. The auditor should assume control risk is high. So when you start plan for the control risk, okay, in the planning stage, okay, you must assume that control risk is high unless it is assessed as low. The assessment confirmed by the test of control. So confirm. Okay, so mean that you have to perform the test of control. Confirmed by test of control. Okay, so auditor, what should the auditor do? Assess the adequacy of the accounting system as basis for preparing the financial statement. Okay, identify the types of potential misstatement that occur in the financial statement. Consider factors that affect the risk of misstatement and design appropriate audit procedure. So this is what you have learned in audit planning. Okay, audit planning. So you must understand the client business and industry. So after you understand the client business and industry, okay, you have to assess the risk. Okay, assess the risk. Okay, normally you have to assume that the control risk is high. Then you look at in terms of the assessment of adequacy of the accounting system. Okay, yang tadi itulah you look at in terms of the information processing control and general IT control. okay, as a basis for the preparation of financial statement. Next, after you assess the adequacy, okay, you identify the types of potential misstatement. So potential misstatement that could occur at the assertion level or at the preparation of the financial statement. Okay, and then you consider factors that affect the risk of misstatement and design appropriate audit procedure. So you have to design, okay, the test of control procedures. Okay. So how you going to look at to assess the adequacy of the accounting system and the control environment? Okay, why the accounting system and control environment? Okay, they put it in one scope. Okay, in one scope. Because normally the directors is the person who maintain the who implement the internal control system in the company or who set up the internal control system of the company. So the internal control system that we are look into is the accounting system. Okay. So auditor, okay, we'll look at the procedure. Auditor perform procedure to give them understanding of the accounting system. So you have to set the objective, okay, objective, and control activities and the objective. Okay. So it will also depend on the auditor's assessment of the risk of material misstatement in the financial statement. If the risk is low, fewer procedure will be carried out. Okay, a client is unlikely to change system substantially on two regular basis. So as we discussed just now, cost versus benefit. Okay, normally company will not change their accounting system too regular. Okay, in one maybe once in 3 years. Okay, so normally auditors simply have to update their understanding only of the system from the previous years. Okay, what should you do? Okay, when you want to know whether they have changed or not the system, okay, whether the company have updated the accounting information system or not, you have to ask. Okay, ask the staff, okay, by inquiry procedure. Okay, watching staff operate the system by doing the observation. So inquiry, observation, and inspection. Okay, look at a document produced by the system. Okay. And auditor also should consider the knowledge about the presence or absence of the control activities. So you must assess, okay, whether is there any control activities absent. Okay, absence of control activity, okay, is considered deficiency to the internal control system. Okay, and how you are going to look at whether the system is absent or not? Okay, by understanding the control environment and accounting system. Okay, example, if you look at to the bank reconciliation, so you have to identify or to assess whether the bank accounts are reconciled every month or not. Okay, so you have to look at to the information processing system. Okay, you have to look at to the information processing system, whether the system completeness, okay, check or not in terms of the reconciliation, the completeness study. Okay, control over input on the completeness, 1-for-1 reconciliation of process. So if the bank account are not reconciled every month, so means that there is an absence, okay, of the control activity. One of the example of the control activity is monthly reconciliation. Okay, remember I give you last class monthly reconciliation. So if the company are not doing the monthly reconciliation, so that is absence of control activity. And then an auditor also have to decide whether they want to carry out the test of control or not. Okay, remember or not, if I have told you in the previous class that okay, the auditor is only perform the test of control if they rely on the internal control system to be carried out effectively. If they're operating effectively, then they perform the test of control. If they don't rely on the internal control system of the company, the auditor just perform the substantive test. So this is what we discussed under ISA 330. Okay, so how they design and perform the test of control. Okay, so actually the objective the auditor design and perform test of control is to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence. Okay, I hope you still remember what is the meaning of sufficient appropriate audit evidence. So it relates to the sufficient relate to the quantity and appropriate relate to the quality, where it determined by relevance and reliable of the evidence. Okay, appropriate and sufficient. Okay, one is quantity, one is quality. So for the quality, you have relevance and reliable. Okay, double R, right? Relevant, reliable. And what are the factors contribute to the quantity and relevance and reliable of the evidence? Okay, for the test of control, okay, in order for them to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence as to operating effectiveness of relevant control is the auditor assessment of risk of material misstatement. Okay, risk of material misstatement at the assertion level. So what is the example of risk of material misstatement? Where I stop tadi? Yasmin? Can you give me the example of risk of material misstatement? Yasmin?
Yes.
What is the example of risk of material misstatement?
Misstating the inventory.
Okay, misstating the inventory. So actually, okay, when we talk the assessment of risk of material misstatement, so you have to read it back with the audit risk model. So audit risk model, audit risk equals to inherent risk times control risk times detection risk. So risk of material misstatement is inherent risk times control risk. Okay. So example of what Yasmin said tadi is what is coming again, Yasmin? What is your example? Inventory?
Yeah, misstatement of the inventory stock.
Misstatement of the inventory is one of the control risk. So risk of material misstatement at the assertion level include an expectation that the control are operating effectively. So you assume that the control are operating effectively. That is, the auditor intend to rely on the operating effectiveness of control in determining the nature, timing and extent of substantive procedure. So this is audit planning to determine nature, timing and extent of audit procedure. So if let's say you are assume that a company are operating effectively, then you have to perform the test of control. Because the substantive procedures alone cannot provide sufficient appropriate audit evidence at the assertion level. At the assertion level, substantive procedures alone cannot provide sufficient appropriate audit evidence. So that is under ISA 330. Okay, now we go to the test of control. As what you said just now, test of control is to test the effectiveness of the internal control system. So when you want to perform the test of control must cover the whole accounting period. So it started from the if let's say your the company's accounting period end at started from 1st January to 31st December. So you have to cover cover the period. So means that if you perform the test of control on June, okay, June, so you have to cover the period from January. So if you perform your test of control on September, so January to September, and also at the to the next period. So if let's say you perform the test of control on December, so it's cover for the whole accounting period. Okay. Test of control are audit procedures designed to evaluate the operating effectiveness of control in preventing or detecting and correcting material misstatement at the assertion level. So this one is only repeating. Okay, so you already know what is the meaning of test of control. Hopefully in the final exam you don't make a mistake. So test of control definition is under ISA 330. Okay. So that why they perform? Why they perform the test of control? So auditors perform the test of control is to obtain audit evidence, to obtain the sufficient appropriate audit evidence, okay, of the design, okay, of the accounting and internal control system. Design of the accounting and internal control system, whether they are suitably designed to prevent, detect and correct the material misstatement, and operation of the internal control throughout the period. Okay, one is design, another one is operation throughout the period. Okay, what are the procedures normally they do? Inquiry. Okay, inquiry in terms of how control will apply, the consistency with which they will apply and by whom they will apply. So this is what you inquire. Okay, these are all the example of the test of control, okay, as you have in the book. Okay, inspection inspection is the procedure. Okay, document supporting control or event to gain audit evidence that internal control has operated properly. Okay, example, verifying that a transaction has been authorized. So these are your procedures. Okay, inspection is the procedures. Okay, one of the audit procedures. Okay, what are the activities that you are going to carry out? Okay, you inspect the document, okay, supporting control or event to gain. This is the objective. This is the activity, and this is the objective. Okay, to gain audit evidence that internal control has been operated properly, okay, or to gain evidence that the transaction has been properly authorized. So you can put your own sentence. So make sure that every audit test of control procedure, it must have with the procedures, okay, the verb. The verb. So this is the verb. Okay, this is the noun. The noun says inspection of nouns. What you are going to inspect? Document, supporting control, okay, or event. So that is the verb. That is the noun. And what is the objective? To gain audit evidence that the internal control have verified all the transaction has been authorized. Okay, to gain audit evidence that all transaction has been properly authorized. That is your objective. So must have verb, noun, and objective. Okay, so for the another four, okay, could you please read and you identify what is the verb, what is the noun, and what is the objective. Okay, and that objective, okay, must fulfill the control activities. Okay, try now. Control activities. Okay, do it now. Okay, for the four, please determine the verb, nouns and objectives, and that objective relates to the control activities. Okay, if the control activity does not properly appear there, you can add up to your own sentence. Yeah. Okay, try now. Number 2, 3, 4. Okay, this one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make it in one sentences for the test of control. Okay, well, you get what is the activities, what is the instruction from me, what you are going to do? Yes or no? Do you get my instruction, class?
Madam, can you repeat?
Okay, the instruction is now you restructure the sentence. Okay, restructure the sentence. Do with your own test of control procedure using verb, nouns, and objective. Okay, like the first one just now, inspection of the document supporting control to gain audit evidence regarding the transaction that has been properly authorized. That you have the nouns, you have the verb, you have the nouns, and you have the objective, and that objective must fulfill the control activity, the past control activity that you have done in the in previous class. Yeah, you have proper authorization and approval, adequate document and record. You have segregation of duties. You have independent review, and you have the monthly reconciliation and pre-numbered document. Get the question, Yasmin? Yasmin?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm lagging, madam.
Yeah?
I have internet slow.
Oh, internet problem. Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. You can do it later. So I hope you must be able to perform your own test of control procedures. Okay. So next class, I want you to give me to restructure back the sentence. Okay. Tomorrow I check. Wednesday I check with you whether your sentence is correct or not. And then you can also assess the test of control, the operation effectiveness by doing the CAAT. Okay. So you can perform the test data or software test in order to see whether the level of risk, of make a misstatement that you expect to come up, and how you determine the extent of audit procedure letter for the substantive test. Okay, so this is important. The auditor would obtain audit evidence as to nature, timing and extent of any changes in the analysis of in the entity's accounting system and internal control since such procedures were performed and assess their impact on the auditor's intended reliance. Okay, whether you rely or not in the internal control system. Okay, if you don't rely, then you have to perform substantive tests. Okay, you have to determine the nature, timing and extent of your audit procedures. So if deviation from controls mean if deviation arise from the control, so the level of control risk has to be revised. Okay, and you have also to revise nature, timing and extent of auditor's plan and substantive procedure should be modified. Okay, because you already perform your audit planning, Okay, you already perform your audit planning in the interim audit. Okay, sebab you dah buat audit planning dah. Okay, audit planning. So now is the time for you to perform the TOC. So TOC. So if you previously have set a level of control risk and inherent risk, okay, then if the level of inherent risk and control risk, or if the level of control risk has been deviate ni tersasar daripada apa yang you plan, so means that you have to revise. Okay, revise the extent of audit procedure, audit planning ni. So nature, timing and extent of audit plan. Okay, significant deficiencies on internal control should be communicated in writing to the management. Okay, this you have to deal with letter. Letter deal in this chapter, so you have the management letter. Okay, and any question on the assessment of the control risk? Okay, actually why you need to assess the control risk? Okay, that is actually the objective of this subtopic. Okay, why you need to assess the control risk? Because you want to look at whether what you have planned before in the risk of material misstatement, okay, as what you plan, or it is deviate from your planning in terms of the control risk. Okay, inherent risk and control risk. But now we are at this one. So if your level of rate of control risk has deviated from your expected, okay, then you have to change, revise. So that's why you have to assess the test, the control, the information. Okay, you have to assess the accounting system and control environment. This one. Because you need to perform the test of control and you have to assess the risk. So if there is a deviation, then you have to change the nature, timing and extent of audit procedure. You kena tukar sebelum you buat final audit, sebelum you perform test of substantive test. So again, this is the question, explain the importance of the following control. So this is 10 mark also. Okay, for the 10 mark, this one important. Okay, so you must start actually with the introduction part. Okay, must introduce first the answer, introduce. Introduction paragraph. So we must have the introduction paragraph. Okay, importance. Okay, actually, okay, how you are going to start with the introduction? Okay, anyone could suggest before you have A, B, and C here? Anyone want to suggest the introduction part? try. Okay, what it is your idea. Okay, how you want to start. Okay, maybe there is no right or wrong how to start, but what there is no right or wrong, okay, on how you are going to start, but the content in your paragraph must correct. Okay, so how you are going to start? Any idea? Yasmin, do you have any idea?
Yes, madam.
Yes, try.
Um, can you repeat the question?
Okay, if you have this kind of question, then if you have this kind of question, okay, you cannot straightforward write A, B, and C. Okay, you must have the introduction. So what do you think? Okay, if you want to answer, okay, what is your is your starting paragraph?
I will talk about control activities.
Then so how you put in the sentence?
Um, there are. I will give the definition of control activities and then says about the importance of it.
Yeah. Okay. So as long as and what is the control activities is something is blah 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 blah, and the point is the inside the content must correct. Yeah. So dia tak kisah. Yasmin may want to start with the control activities. Okay. Maybe others dia nak start dengan definition of ataupun dia nak start dengan component of internal control. So it's up to you. Okay. So this is like the introduction part is the bonus mark. Okay, there is one bonus mark there. Okay, one bonus mark, and the rest is maybe this is 10 mark, 10 marks. So each of the this one will carry three points. So you entitled to get 1 mark. Okay, so that's how you answer the discussion question. Okay. Any more question, class? So if no question, then I think I'm not give you the exercise, the report exercise, because I want you to study for your test. Yeah? Section A and section B. Okay. This class, okay tak? Oh, you want the question?
Okay, we do.
Study.
Okay, study section A and section B. So if no question, then we stop the class. Okay, Fitri, recite the doa penutup, Fitri.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ay asliha insani kuhus illa ladhina amanu wa ussalihat wa sabihat wa sabisa. Amin.
Okay, thank you, class. Salam.